Wow, look how beautiful it is. The mountains and the skies and um, the skies blending into the mountains. It's a very rainy day today. We're going to be talking soon about the flight. Let's wait a few minutes until the streaming URL will show up and we should start. Alright guys, hello. Welcome to the flight of today. Today we're going to be doing a very rather interesting flight following the Kokoda track in Papua New Guinea. It's going to be a bush piloting, bush flying. Papua New Guinea is a very primitive third world country. With barely any infrastructure, road infrastructure, and many of the villages are pretty much cut off in the middle of the jungles, and the only way to access them is via the air. There are many airstrips in Papua New Guinea, which that's how we access villages. Kokoda track is an interesting track within an area of Papua New Guinea. It's a track very famous for its World War the Japanese, American or Allies, Australians war so during the Second World War. You can read all about it, about the fascinating events that took place in the Kokoda tracking during the war with the Japanese. You can go look it up in the Wikipedia. But the track itself after that, it's pretty much it's a track that goes from Kokoda, it's a village somewhere in Papua New Guinea, unto Port Mercy, which is down south of Papua. I think it's about a hiking. It's a track that today could be hiked by travelers, and it's about few days to a few weeks. I don't remember. All done by foot. There are no cars, and that track basically done through the jungles, through the mountains. You go through villages until you get to the end of it. That's pretty much supposed to follow the same track that the Japanese soldiers, the Allied soldiers, followed during the war in order to fight the Battle of Kokoda, well, basically the entire battle of that area. The scenery itself was released by an Orbix FTX. It was released in order to give you the experience of this track, but this time via the air. So we're going to be taking off here in Kokoda. This is the first entry point, which we're going to be starting. And we're going to basically follow the track through small villages. I have already the flight plan loaded in. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. And basically, we're going to be following those tracks over this magnificent scenery. I have not done this track ever in my life, and I haven't seen any of these airstrips prior. So hopefully I'll be able to recognize them from the air. doing the recording. If not, we're gonna have to do some turning arounds a bit, and to be able to find them and locate them. However, they do appear on the GPS as coordinates, as there was some guy that already created those GPS coordinates of those airstrips into the simulator, and pretty much that's supposed to make things easier. Today, as you can see, it's pretty rainy and a lot of clouds. So I don't know, probably be a little bit challenging. We're going to taking off today from, as we said, from Kokoda. That's where our trip we're going to start. And at the end of this trip, we're going to end up at Kokoda again. It's some kind of a round trip during the track. We start at a certain point, and then we turn around, follow other airfields until we come back to Kokoda. I think somewhere around these mountains over here will emerge and come in, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. I made that flight plan a while ago. Okay, so let's jump into the cockpit, and let's see what we've got here. Okay, here's basically our off track. We're gonna be, let's lower it down. Oh, I think that's the minimum I can come down with. I have to face the runway in order to be able to see the rest of the track. Okay. Oh, here I managed to minimize it. Okay, so this line over here is gonna be our exit point from Kokoda airfield. And this line over here is when we actually come back in when we do the round trip. Now I'm going to be dividing this video into 10 sub-videos. Each video will start from the previous landed airfield and will go up to the next one. Video can be between 3 to 4 minutes because some airfields are extremely close to each other. And it can go up to like a half an hour as of now, because I'm doing a lot of explanations of what we're planning to do ahead. But I'm going to be dividing it. Maybe we'll be, just because it could be that I won't do all of them at the same day. And also some people might be interested to see a certain area during the track, or a certain leg. So therefore, I'll be dividing it. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so let's start our engine. So we're going to start with engine number 2. It's basically the right engine. Okay, I binded accidentally the same key to both of the engines, so I'll do it manually. I'll fix that later. Alright, I guess we can start going. We're gonna be heading to, we're gonna be turning to the right over here, and we're gonna be taking off from the right onto those mountains, then we're gonna turn around to follow the track. I think we're gonna be going in between those mountains. I'm gonna follow the GPS to just be 100% sure. As I mentioned before, I haven't done that before, so I might have some misses. So we're gonna have to do it. We actually have to turn around and try to do it again. Okay, I'm deploying the I'm basically deploying the flaps. Alright, let's start moving. This aircraft in the simulator is such a bitch to move on the ground. It's very hard to... You have to have a tremendous amount of force for it to start, and then it's like and then it starts like zipping on the ground. It's very inconsistent as far as how much power you need in order to move that aircraft on the ground. Look at that, I'm almost at full force and it's still not starting to move. But once it's starting to move, it's going to start like flying in the air. So, and then you have to retract the speed again, and again it will stop. If not, and if you retract it a little bit, and if you keep it, it will just like be running on the ground. I don't know, the engineering of this aircraft was terribly done as far as the ground movement. You see how fast it is running, and before it couldn't even move. See, I have to do maximum force just to move it, then I have to retract it so much. Wow, the weather is like really, really, really windy. Okay, let's follow the track. Wow, it's really stormy. Alright, let's do our best. Well, we missed our turning. We're actually supposed to go to into that valley, not the other one, which I thought was. But it's hard to follow the GPS when you don't know the area and the terrain. Okay, so it was this valley I was supposed to turn into, and not the other one. The other one is over there, which looks cooler in my opinion, but yeah, let's go follow that terrain, that valley. Let's put it that way, the winds are totally not favorable today. But well, I guess we will manage somehow. This is from the outside view. Look at the beautiful mountains. Orbix did a very good job depicting the graphics around that area. I don't know actually if they changed anything. Maybe they only added the airfields themselves. But I'm using FTX Global and vectors. And I'm also using the Pilot's FS, what do you call it, FS Globe or something, not the 2010 but the Ultimate version, which has a much higher resolution, higher terrain resolution for mountains and valleys than the 2010 version. Look how beautiful the clouds blend into the underground. Ooh, that was strong thunder. Alright, by the map it seems to be we are soon gonna be there. I guess it's the valley over there straight ahead. Let's start already descending. That we'll be able to approach it safely. Yeah, I think it's the valley ahead of us. The green spot over there. Yep, I think that's the one. Okay, we're going to descend through this little stream area, and then I'm going to brake a bit to the right in order to do a left turn to the approach, if I got it correctly. All right, let's put the flaps down. I think that's the little airstrip over here on the left, where the mouse cursor is, but I'm not sure. Yep, I think it is. Okay, let's do a sharp left turn. Like I mentioned before, this aircraft in the simulator doesn't react well on the ground. Even if you do a full rudder to the left or to the right, it just refuses to turn, or at least not as smoothly. So it's very hard to navigate with this airplane in the simulator. I don't know if it's like this in the real life, but at least in the simulator, it's like a really bitch to deal with. I guess we can go park next to those houses. I think that will be a nice spot. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video, and that's it for this flight. And we'll see you soon in our next leg, number 2 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.